Hello everyone, welcome to my first Sketchup tutorial on how to use Sketchup in the basic modelling of a set of wardrobes. I guess it can be used for any sort of cabinetry. I just want to show you how to use some of the basic tools. If you're starting out on Sketchup, this is probably the ideal video. So what we're going to first do is set out our perimeters or our overall size. So if you've got a niche or an alcove, or the size of the wardrobes you want to make, I'd start off using the tape measure tool. We're going to go 1300 wide, literally just type in 1300. Start off by going in the direction that you want your guideline to go. So we're going to go 2350 high, and I'm just going to stick 40mm scribes to my side scribes and to my top scribe as well. I think keep it simple. 120mm high plimp. So this essentially now gives us our carcass size if we're dealing with an overlay cabinet or lay-on cabinet, whatever term you want to use. Rectangle tool here, sorry. You just click from point to point. Really important, and just get in the habit of making everything a group as you go along. I won't go into too much detail right now, but basically if you don't make that a group and we put another line on, all our geometry is going to get mixed up. So let me just go back, double click, right click, make group. If I now stick something on top of that, it's not going to stick. So anyway, once you've made a group, you need to double click on it to edit it, or right click, edit group. We want to now make our carcass thickness, and the easiest way again of doing that, there are several ways of doing that. You can use guidelines and go 18mm in, but easiest method is offset tool, click, so you can see that's offsetting. You can go outside of that as well, but perhaps what we're doing, we're just going to go in and we're going to type 18, or whatever your carcass thickness might be. It might be 15, it might be 19, it might be whatever, but 18 is standard. We don't need this in the middle, so highlight it and hit delete. Got a carcass thickness there now. Just stick the scribes on, rectangle tool, click, click, double click, right click, make group. What we want to do is, instead of doing another one, we can just move that across using this tool, move tool. Doesn't matter which point you take it at, but easiest is going to be taking it from sort of an actual reference point in the corner. And to duplicate it, before you move it, hit the control button once on your keyboard, move it, and it duplicates. Right, top scribe, rectangle, click, click, double click, right click, make group. Same thing for the plinth. Click, click, double click, double left click that is, and then right click, make group. So that is essentially our front elevation 2D image, and it is 2D obviously. If you orbit, you can see it's just a flat 2D image. Next stage, I guess we can give it some depth and turn it into 3D. Easiest way of doing this, the only way I know anyway on SketchUp, is using the push pull tool. So we'll start off with the carcass. Remember to edit a group, get into it, you need to double click it or right click, edit group. So what we want to do is highlight surface and use the push pull tool over here. This is going to be one of the most commonly used tools when you're doing 3D drawings in SketchUp. So pull it in the direction that you want to go, and we will make our carcass 580 deep. Obviously make it whatever you want. still its own group, obviously. That's going to want a back, so rectangle tool, which I think as a default is the R key on your keyboard, so if you want to stop going over here and selecting every time, you'll get used to using the hotkeys. So R, point to point. Remember, make group, double click, right click, make group. And because we want to give it some thickness, we'll select it, select the face, and again push pull, and we will go, let's just keep it 18 for now. You might do your backs out of 8, 9, 10 mil, whatever material you're using. So that is our carcass with a back on. Our scribes, we will do, let's just keep it simple, push pull tool, 18. So push pull tool, and instead of typing in, you can actually bring that forward and use the last one as a reference point. Another method is just double clicking once you have the push pull tool, and it will push pull the same distance as your last keyed in dimension, but it's gone the wrong way, so we're just going to put it forward and use it as our reference. Top scribes, side scribes, and now we will do the plinth. Push, pull. Obviously, a lot of you might set your plinths back. If you're going to do that, just make sure you've got it selected, move, and it doesn't matter where you're on the model, just make sure you go along the right axes, in this case green, and we will set it back 40. Obviously you've got your gaps between your scribes and the plinth at the moment, but in the real world we would put a return on our scribes of some sort, so let's just do that now. What I'm doing here is I'm just changing the front scribe, move that line, duplicate, move it in 18 because that's likely to be the thickness that we'll use. Select, push pull, push that back, say 80 mil. So that's our scribe with a return on it, and you might pin your scribe to that return, or you might domino it on or biscuit it on, whatever you do there. Do the same to this one, highlight that outer line and move tool, and then duplicate using the control key on your keyboard. I want that to go in 18 mil. We want to push pull that, I think we did it 80, but just use that as a reference. And of course the top scribe needs to be done the same. Move, duplicate, 18 mil, push pull, there we go. You can stick feet on there from the 3D warehouse. I'm not going to bother with that right now, I just want to show you how to model the actual sections of the wardrobe, the scribes, and we'll stick the shelf in next, hanging rail, and we'll just throw a couple shaker doors on. So easiest method for me is tape measure, whatever you want to space your shelf at. Let's just do 250, 18 mil shelf. I pretty much always set my shelf back a few mil, maybe 10 mil. So there's our shelf profile there. Use the rectangle tool, click point to point, double click, right click, make group, double click, push pull tool. On the keyboard it's the hotkey P for that. If you want to get the hang of using that sooner rather than later, it's going to make your life a lot easier. There's our shelf. Obviously it's a group now. If you decided you want to move that, just use the move tool, which is M on the keyboard. You can move it up or down. You can move it forward, front, or forward or back, whatever you want to do. Hanging rail. So I have a hanging rail in my library. Hardware. You can find these on or within the 3D warehouse, or if you just want to model your own hanging rail quickly, it doesn't take 5 seconds. So what I've done there, is tape measure, got the midpoint of my carcass, drop it down 60mm. If you're using a center bracket, obviously you need to drop down whatever that is. Circle, take your point, come out and type in the radius, not the diameter, so 25mm hanging rail, so 12.5. There's our rail, double click, right click, make group. I want to push pull that. There you go. I'm not going to bother with the hanging rail sockets right now. Just want to show you how to get a basic shape together. There's our shelf with hanging rail. It's coming together. So it's getting a bit messy with the guides, so I'm just going to delete guides. Do that, edit, drop down, delete guides, just so we've got a clean workspace to work with when we do our door. So door, obviously midpoint on the carcass, 610, rectangle tool, take your point to point, double click, right click, make group. Want to edit that group again, so double click on it, push pull. That's 18mm. I know usually in the real world you'd probably bring your skypes forward a couple more mil, so you've got some room to play with, but for the purpose of drawing, keep it as it is. That's our door. Let's make it shaker style. Double click on the front face, offset tool, and let's make our stock 110, shall we? Yeah, it's okay. Highlight the center section, and we want to make that appear as inset, so push pull tool again, click on it. So you want to go in, and we'll go in 6mm, not too much, just to give us a bit of detail. There's our door. In just a moment I'll show you the easiest way of adding in your gaps for your doors as well. Before we do that, just want to throw a handle on here. So middle of the styles, 55. Again, I've got bits and bobs saved in my library, so I'm just going to throw a basic knob on there. Oh, it's not quite bang on, but we'll leave it like that for now. Edit, let's delete them guides again. Right, instead of drawing that door out again, we'll just move tool, which is M on the hotkey, control to duplicate. And there we go. Obviously the handle's on the wrong side. Quickest way of changing that, right click, flip along, and we want to flip that basically on the red axis. There we go. Stick some door gaps on there. There's loads of ways of doing this, just for the purpose of keeping it simple. This is what I would show you. I'm in 2mm. 2mm on the height. 1mm in the the meeting style, obviously, because we've got to do both. There we go. Basic wardrobe. Didn't take too long. Obviously, the more you do it, the quicker you get. And then once you start getting the hang of it, you can do quite cool things like showing your door swinging. It's pretty cool. Type in 90, so it opens up in 90 degree. There you go. Click on your front view. Make a scene. Click on your ISO. Make a scene. And so on. To all sorts. Show a plan view. Change your camera view to parallel projection. Gets a bit more techy and looks good if you need to start submitting drawings to your clients and stuff like that. And what you do next is save, center layout, but I'll show that on a separate video. That's it for now. Got any questions, please drop me a line, comment and like. Thanks for watching. Cheers.